So one of my favorite places to shoot engagement sessions is at the beach. And you wouldn't believe it, but when I first started doing wedding photography, I actually thought the beach was such a cheesy place to shoot. And after a few of my clients really encouraged me and kind of pushed for me to go to the beach, I fell so hard in love with shooting at the beach, you guys. Like, I absolutely have made it my own, and I just love it. So today in this video, I'm going to go over what lens I shoot at the beach. I usually shoot with one lens. I'm also going to talk to you about the time that I go shoot at the beach. And I'm also going to give you some tips on how to get your couples to stay, engaged with each other and playful at the beach, because it can be cold. I mean, if you've ever felt at this California water, it is freezing. So as you can see, I'm in a jacket. And a lot of times our couples are in dresses or, beach attire. But it's definitely up to you as the photographer to keep them engaged and, keep it fun and keep it active. So let's start with the main lens that I use when I'm at the beach. So I'm usually on my 50 1.2. So that's what I'm usually shooting with. I wish that I could do the 85, you guys, but the light is it's just too low, and I can't play with the focus not working. So I stick with the 50 1.2, and that is what I'm shooting with mostly at the beach. Every now and then I'll bring a 35 millimeter down there and I'll get a really wide shot that's like super artistic, but I'm saying like 95% of the time things are moving really fast at the beach. I'm capturing as many candid moments as possible, and I'm using my 50. The next tip I want to give you is when I go to the beach. As I mentioned before, it's cold in California, and I'm usually shooting at the beaches in California. And I mean, the water is cold, the wind is usually blowing, it's freezing. So I cannot expect my couple to be down there for an hour and, be enjoying themselves and us get some great stuff. So I usually head down to the beach 30 minutes before the sun actually hides, melts down into the ocean. So we are going to do all of this in 30 minutes. So that's like a really good tip. I think you don't want to have them down there for too long. And in my opinion, if it's any more than 30 minutes before the sun goes down, it's just going to be too bright still. So the last thing I want to go over is how, just a few tips on how to keep your couples engaged with each other. So definitely one of the things I do is I'll point out, I'll be, oh my God, look at this beautiful sunset. It's so gorgeous. And then I'll also talk about, wow, when's the last time you've been to the beach? Isn't it fun to feel your toes in the sand and listen to the beach and look at this? So I'm encouraging them a lot of times to really be in the environment. And I tell them beforehand, I'll say, it's going to be so loud on here with the waves crashing. You might not be able to hear me, but what I want you to do is just keep playing. So I'll really, really encourage them to do things that may seem a little silly. I'll ask him maybe sometimes to pick her up. And what that causes is him to look at me like I'm crazy and her to be like, yeah, pick me up. And then it just is laughing. We're all laughing really hard. So that's one of the things. If I feel like the energy's dying, I'll be like, pick her up, twirl her around. I'm always just encouraging them to do more and more and more. Then, if I also feel like, the energy has died down again, so I'll walk up and I'll put them in a really good pose. I'll take my time really posing their bodies, making sure they look, totally awesome before I'm snapping those photos. And as the sun disappears, this is going to be one of my favorite times to go in there and do some really awesome portraits of them, because now I'm just in this pink light. It's gorgeous. So at that moment is when I'm really encouraging them to kind of snuggle faces is one of the things I'll say, and look towards me, or I'll encourage him to look at her while she's looking at the beach and vice versa. And I just try to keep my energy up a lot. The last thing I'm ever going to do is talk about how cold it is, because that's obvious, and you're the leader of this when you're shooting. So you just need to be talking about all the positive things about how beautiful it is and how awesome it is. So I hope this video helps you guys at your next shoot at the beach, and definitely stay tuned, because we're going to go to the beach and shoot live. So we'll be letting you know about that. All right. Look forward to seeing your beach shots on the Inspired Club. Bye.
He got